So the study I'll be doing today would be week 43 study. I'll do it again. A different reference though. I don't know if I want to do the black and white reference. Give me like a few minutes looking for a reference. Ooh, that's a cool one. It's gonna be hair, but lighting and hair. Kind of general. I draw the chibi to warm up. That's a really cool reference. Oh, hi. Let's see. You guys can hear me fine, right? I think. Let me draw the... Hey, where's my layers? Draw more thick size. Maybe. I could do the blocking with round brush, yes. Yeah, how about this? I'll do the blocking with... I'll do the whole thing with round brush today. Just like the basic round brush. People are thinking I have like the, you know, the fancy text brush. I don't know why people think that's fancy now, but... let's do the round brush today. The process is exactly the same. There's really no difference. So I always draw the chibi blackout. But this time I'm gonna actually draw the chibi Etona. I feel like I should draw her taller, but I mean, you don't really have to find interesting references. Like, if you try to find reference with everything perfect, or like the way you like it, you're probably not gonna find too many. But if you find like lighting from one reference and then like maybe the anatomy from another, or angle, if you're good at combining them, you wouldn't really run out of references. Certain angles on chibis are difficult. I'm keeping the start soon up there right now because I'm not in the actual study part yet. But once I finish warming up with this, I will take that off. Photoshop. Ooh, it's been a long time. Ever since CS1. So after CS6, it's CC, and then the years. But I've been using it since CS1. Well, back then they call it Creative Suite, and it's just CS. There's no 1 or 2. Yeah, approximately, I would say. Before that, I use Painter Tool Psi, Painter X, Open Canvas, that's one. This chippy doodle is not as clean as my usual ones. It's like a kind of a weird angle. I'm in my 30s. I've been drawing not most of my life, but 16 years. So like the right hand, our right, her left. The hand should go above the bar, and the left hand should be supporting the bar from under because the hammer is heavier here. So just thought that would be interesting to point out. Nobody asked, I know. But it's my stream, I can say whatever I want. Oh. It's misaligned. Okay. Kinda happy with how it turned out, at least the sketch. Like, everything looks like they're kind of in the right place. I want it to be more of a angle from the bottom up. It's like she's standing in midair, like kind of like above you. Like, I like how Doctor Strange floats in Marvel Rivals. Okay, so I will start now. Yeah, I think I'm above 13 years old. I would say I'm above 16 years old. Crazy. Okay. So round brush. We'll do it with round brush. I'll show you guys the brush, just so that you guys know what I'm working with if anybody hasn't seen my brush. So I have this. Let's do a couple. Oh, let me save first. 21. Let's go into the file. Haven't drawn that much this year yet. Marvel Rivals and contract work has been consuming my life. But so I have this main brush that's let's see, this one, and it's kind of my main brush. I would say these two. Alright, cool. So see, they look almost exactly the same, but because the gaps looks a little different, I keep both of them. And the whatever brush actually looks smoother as you build up in the painting. And then I have this really cool round brush. It's round. And then I call this the Leyendecker brush, but it's still just my name. And the reason why I call it Leyendecker, because I use this to study Leyendecker's art. And I found it to mimic the paint pretty well. Just, I can do it with all the other ones, but this one is just like makes it faster, a little bit faster for me. Let me bring up the actual file. Give me a second. If I can find it, please. Swear I'm not crazy. I did the study before. So okay, found it. So this is the Leyendecker study that I did. And that was the brush that you saw earlier. It's in here, and then turned it into something like this. We just kept the style of the brushworks, maybe a little bit more vibrant, because we're in digital. I can change the saturation whatever I want, but anyway. But we'll stick with round brush. I'll use pressure setting a little bit, but I mean, I'm kind of inclined to turn it off. Okay, so just round brush. Oh, just forgot to record this. Okay, so I have this new seating position that I do. Let me see if it'll work while I'm streaming. Okay. Yeah, I think that will work. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's begin. I'm so glad I can make the main monitor as tall as I can. I gotta show you guys. So, my setup right now. Give me 1 second. I keep saying that. But... you guys will just have to wait. picture. Okay, let me see. Let me grab the picture. So the setup is changed a little bit. So it looks like this, like I'm looking up at the screen, but I'm leaned back in my chair. So the tablet is actually really high. Like that. All right, cool. I'll use a pretty hard round brush, and obviously I'll use like bucket tools or something. Okay, we'll start with that. Let's start with that. Okay. Let's go. This is not a particularly good round brush either. Like you can see there's like these little stamp patterns because the round brush is like made for it to lag very little when it's huge. Yeah, this is my streams are usually study streams, so this has a reference. I would do full time if I could for art. I usually just do one study in a stream because I I don't really stream for that long each time. I could try to do like a 12-hour stream or whatever, but I haven't yet. It's more of a time constraint right now. Like if I don't have any other responsibilities, I would gladly stream for 12 hours straight and just draw the entire time. Yeah, it's 2 to 6 hours usually. I keep it somewhere right around the middle. I work in a corporate office, or work for a corporate company, but I'm remote for the most part. We have like a part-time job as well, so one full-time, one part-time-ish. And oh well, my music is too loud. I can't hear myself talk. Okay, so I also recently started teaching art like to kids in a like it's kind of like extra curriculum for them. Huh. So that's like a in-person class. I just started, so I don't. It's not like it's enough money for me to make a living out of it. So, but hopefully, eventually, it could be a thing. Yeah, I went to a oil painting class not too long ago because I wanted to like have some exposure to oil painting. And I asked the person that was teaching there, I was like, do you need a digital art teacher? And surprisingly, they were looking for one even before I came along. And yeah, now I'm teaching there. It's like a super small classroom, like 10 kids. Yeah, I'll probably keep this stream up after. I don't have enough screen space, so I'll tap in and out while I draw. So I'll answer questions once in a while. Oh, it's too big. Okay. I have done some skeleton studies. How do I sign up? Well, you gotta live near me, I guess. Overall, making details. Ever overwhelmed? Making details? Like, do I feel overwhelmed or the details are overwhelming? Oh, I don't know how to use YouTube mentions and whatnot. I assume you can just add someone, but never tried it. People end up making Colossal courses. Usually Colossal approach you, I think. At least they approach me. I don't know if anybody actually goes and approach Colossal. Okay, time to keep working. So for anybody who's just joining today's, I don't know if it's a challenge, so much so like a change of workflow, because we're gonna use just round brush today, because the block-in process and the general detail process doesn't get affected too much by what brush you use. And I have had people fight me on this one. Yeah, the brush shouldn't matter too much. Obviously, it has some benefits. But usually it's overrated. This is a kind of a tough angle. But yeah, it's definitely a tough angle. So essentially, if you can get to this part, the blocking process can't stray too far from what you want in the final the final product already. So no, this is 75% opacity. Well, actually no. This goes up to 100% opacity, but minimum is 75. So check this out. If I hit it really hard, it goes over completely. But if I go super light, that's as light as it goes. That's as light as it goes. So it's almost a full hard brush, but I didn't use a full hard brush just because I don't have one. I don't usually use one. But if I want to, I could change it to it. It's not really a big deal. So, but top left, you can see 100% opacity. A slight what? Yeah, brushes don't matter mostly, and if you question whether or not brush matters, or like how brush should matter, and you don't really know how to find the brush that you want, then brush is not the issue that you should be concerned with. That's how I think. I don't think anybody who could benefit from brushes, like as intended, is going to have trouble looking for the brush that, or at least either looking or making the brush they want, or modifying existing brushes. Yeah, I say that while I sell my brushes, and I sell my brushes because people keep asking me to. So I just put it up there, and if people ask me if they should buy my brush, I always say no, because they're not worth, well, actually they are worth $3 because the amount of time it takes you to calibrate them, but the way that I calibrated my brush is not going to be the same as the ones you want to use, so I like this song so much. Like, I kind of like trap music, but like repeating patterns, certain repeating patterns. So right now I should be focused on major shapes still. And I'm getting too caught up with the details. Oh, right. So right now it's in 2 layers, but these layers don't matter. I just forgot to merge them down. And no, sometimes I don't use layers. Okay. Well, I'll just stick with this brush. I don't want to switch at all. So with a smaller brush like this, you are forced to build a little bit of bad habits, because you have to go in, and if you want to get those shapes sharper, the only way to do it is through zooming in and making the brush smaller, which isn't always what you want to do. But as long as you know not to make that a habit while you're blocking in, then I think it's fine. By the way, I just got a notification that I did in fact get accepted into Anime Expo, so I will most likely able there this year. I don't even know what to bring yet, like print wise, because I don't really do a whole variety of fan arts. It's just Ganyu and my 2 OCs, 3 OCs. Ooh, I'll do that. I'm gonna cheat a little bit and change the hair color with... Actually, nah, I'm not gonna cheat. I was gonna use color layer to change the color, but I didn't say I was gonna use like at least 2-3 layers, so I'm going to change the hair color here. But let's do it manually. Yeah, let's do it manually. I ain't no coward. Actually, let me keep the braids. I don't know how to resolve the hair yet, but future me will figure that out. guessing. The proportion without underdrawing. Well, the simple answer is you just put the right things in the right place. So the question about Iman, quality of it. How come I have not received a job offer? It depends what you mean by a job offer. I do teach kids art as like a very, very part-time job. I teach once a week. And I just started like 3 weeks ago. And that's been great. I count that as a job, so there's that. Now, I don't have enough income from art to where I can survive as a freelance artist. And I don't really want to work for a studio, whatever studio type there are. Like, my art doesn't really fit in with the gaming company, for example. Well, so I'm gonna put these little flyaway hair details because I think it affects the overall like perception of shapes. Usually you wouldn't put stuff like this because they're details, but because those are the only shapes that exists in that space, I'll put it in. I think I'm zoomed too in. I might want to change the... I have to change the lighting a little bit because the hairstyle is different, so... So the difficult part about these studies where I change it into a different subject is like I have to assume a lot of things for lighting, and because whatever I've put in is pretty I wouldn't say realistic, but the lighting itself is realistic, so everything that I modify has to be realistically lit, or else it'll look awkward. If anybody's ever tried that. Oh, what the heck. So you have to be able to observe a lot of the details. So at this point I might lower the the opacity pretty soon because I need those half colors, where this brush itself is a bit too hard, where I can't control it very well. I could if I was careful with it, like Kanlu does it, right? So there are ways to do it, but maybe I should just practice that. If he can do it and I can't do it, that means it's a skill issue. If it's a skill issue, that means there's solutions. I think the hair itself needs to be brighter overall. This part is too dark. Okay, commonly uses, so let's do this one as well. Needs to have a red tint. Okay. I've lowered the opacity a little bit, well, a lot, a bit, 10%, so that I can change the tint a little bit without messing with any of the dials. What your thought process in transforming the reference? That's kind of a complicated question. I think about how the light hits the form first, and then I think about like subsurface scattering, or how the light changes the substrate's color. So like how blue should it be if the base color is certain amount of blue, and then if the light is yellow, and based on where it hits, like maybe the light hits here versus hitting here, it would change the base color differently, like its hue, its saturation. And then after that, it's like ambient occlusion. What does dark blue look like in a bright yellow environment? So, and then there's like a bunch of little things as well. But generally, form is most important. Why do I draw Ganyu? Because Ganyu is the best character ever. Yeah. But how do you know what is the right place? So, you compare to what else you've put on the canvas. So if you put something else on the canvas, like for example, I'm looking at, you know, if I put the face in the right place, I'll compare it to like how far this is, how far this is, compared to the reference, or, you know, anatomical facts. You just keep pushing that logic. Splash art study stream. I won't do splash art study streams that often. I'm still considering how much splash art I should study, but we'll see. Do you draw traditionally? No, not that often. I've drawn it a few times in my life. Like, I would say I've drawn traditional less than 100 times in my life. Let's see. Do you use reference in your workflow? More than half of the time I use reference. Sometimes I test myself just to see what it looks like without reference. So for example, this one is without reference. So I can still understand, like, well, I can still like pull memories of what anatomy looks like, or like how to light stuff based on logic and experience, but like sometimes I don't use reference, sometimes I do. So this one, for example, there's no reference for this one. And then, oops, something like, there's no reference for this one as well. But yeah, it's a, I'll say half and half. Let's see. Start it. Well, I mean, you kind of have to start it like it's nothing, because there's nothing on the canvas. So if you could stop one question being asked forever, is that AI, or do you use AI? It's like, oh, sometimes it's just literally a statement. It's like, oh, that's AI. But I don't mind people asking me what brush I use, because I have a valid answer for that. But no, I do not use AI. It takes away the fun. Like, if I just, like, I could drop this into AI, it will like do the details for me, but first of all, I probably won't like it as much as the details I put in myself. And then the second part is I want to draw. So I literally have people watching my sweep paints or time lapse and calling me AI, so that's slightly annoying, but at this point it's kind of funny. So. Oh, what the heck? Okay, so the hairstyle itself is not very Ganyu yet, because I'm sticking with the reference a little bit too much. But I need to start inventing the shapes that Ganyu's hair would fall. into in this pose and this angle. I know Ganyu doesn't have braids, but let's put some braids. I'll close the stream soon, but I think this is a pretty good progress. I like how it looks overall right now. The details a little bit lacking. I'll finish this in the Discord VC later, probably, hopefully, but. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask them, answer them before I close the stream. Oh, forgot, this is not yellow. Supposed to be blue. Okay. Test out the horns. Think. I'll have to change the eye shape a little bit later. We have to darken the hair on where the horn will be blocking the light. And then okay, let's see. One question, are you from China too? Well, I was born in Taiwan and then I moved here to United States as a kid, so I speak English better than I speak Chinese. Let's see, it would look terrible. Okay, granted, some AI image has pretty good composition, just because it probably did like pattern recognition on things that have good composition. So I'll give it that. Any favorite artists? There's a few. I follow them on Instagram. I curate it to where I see what I want to learn from. So yeah, China has a bunch of crazy artists. Oh yeah. What percent of your drawings are Ganyu? Approximately 15%, I think. 15% of my drawings Ganyu. Maybe a little higher. 17%. I actually did count it before, so. What did you do when your value's wrong? I just changed the values. I mean, that's the obvious answer. When's the next live? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm eating for dinner, so. Nose looking off because nose is a pretty complicated shape, so if your perspective is off, then it will look off. Suggestions for practice: focus on painting. Depends on what you're practicing. So painting could involve a bunch of stuff like form, like values, color control, value control. I don't think my work is unique in style. Like, I guess it's more unique than line art, cell shading, but I don't think in painting it's not very unique. A lot of things that I do is very similar to how oil painting works, as far as I know. So when you paint without reference, you also start by block. Yes, a lot of times I do start out by blocking shapes. I have one or two videos of that on YouTube, shorts or full videos. I don't remember, but usually I don't construct. How much do I invest in art per day? Anywhere from 2 to like 10 hours, usually on the low end. 8.2%. You counted? So I meant like after Ganyu's released, or like recently. They've been drawing Ganyu more, but based on 2024, I think it's about 17%. Well, yeah, the choice of character is kind of unique, I suppose, but I want to change the size of the horn a little bit. Ooh, just noticed something. It's the horn should be pointing back a little bit because her face is a 3/4. So this would be too inaccurate. Maybe something like this. Alright, cool. I'll see you guys next time or later if you're on the Discord. I don't rotate the canvas much. I almost never do, because I want to practice everything else. Like directional strokes. Yeah, okay. See you guys next time.